What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Jamming with Jay Money. It's Monday. It's a new week. We're ready to get to some new money, man. We got what 5, 6 games today. We're gonna break them down and let you guys know our angles on them, and we're gonna try to get to some money today, man. How you guys doing? We got Jordan Bake with us today, man. What's up, Jordan?
Yo, what's good, guys? Hope y'all had a good holiday. I had a good few days off over the weekend, and ready to get back on action here on Monday. Nice little 6 game slate. A little bit of value, I think, poking through different little spots here. How'd you guys end up over the weekend? I took the entire day off yesterday. Was driving back from family, so didn't really get to bet on any of the big slate yesterday. But here, Junior's been red hot, so we'll start with him. How you been doing, buddy?
Yeah, the weekend was good to me, bro. 6-0-1 on the weekend. Pretty good week last week. Just trying to, keep learning, keep watching these games, and what I'm saying, seeing who's hot, who's not. A lot of bums out here, but I'm just kidding. No, this when I say there's a lot of bums out here, bro. I was watching that Clippers Wizards game. The over is 275 points scored in that game. Like, what's going on with the Wizards, bro? You can't be allowed. Yeah, I know they're number one, and I think they're number two in the league in scoring now, but you can't be letting teams score 150 points, bro. That's why I don't ever really even put money on games involving the Wizards. But yesterday I hit the Clippers first half -7.5 because I knew that after losing to the Spurs, there's no way they weren't going to come out and give like their best effort. So, what about you, Jay? How you did?
Yeah, yesterday I only took one pick. I took the Pelicans yesterday. I know on Saturday it was pretty crazy day. We talked about. I know me and Junior had talked about the Nuggets game, and they were up in the first half, and then they let the Kings come all the way back, and that game still ended up going under. The Kings ended up winning in overtime, and it still went under. We cashed with the Pacers. Me and Junior on the Pacers there, plus the points versus Philly on Saturday. Cash still when the Bucks blew the shit out the Hornets. Speaking of give up 150 points, shit, Harden went for what 60 points. They put up 158 points versus the Hawks. And yeah, yesterday I took the Pelicans versus OKC, home and home spot, a spot where I'm always gonna take the loser of the first game. It didn't pan out yesterday. It was almost like the Spurs game. The Pelicans got up and then went late in the game. Once they got up, then the OKC went on another run and they just couldn't. Obviously, they don't play any defense and they just couldn't get it done down the stretch. The Pistons, they end up blowing the shit out of the Spurs yesterday. No LaMarcus Aldridge stayed at the house. That was a pretty easy one there. And Utah, like we were just talking before the show, the Jazz got fucking murdered by the Raptors. Man, they was down by 40 points at the half. I was like, damn, I couldn't believe that. A 79 point score. The Jazz did put up damn near 50 points in that third quarter, so that was pretty crazy. At 49, it was 49-30 in that third quarter to try to make it a little bit respectable. Still end up losing that game by 20 points. But still, man, you down 40 at the half. That was fucking tough. You only had 37 points at halftime, man. That was pretty crazy. There we'll see if the Jazz can bounce back today. And yeah, the Wizards. That was a 275 point game, and they gave up 150 to the Clippers. That was pretty crazy. But it doesn't surprise me the way that the Wizards play. And the Mavericks, they went and beat the Lakers, man, straight up. Beat them by 14 points, man, in LA. That was a damn good game. It was that third quarter where they really just pulled away 35-18. So that was a damn good win by the Mavs there. They're forced to be reckoned with, and the Heat came all the way back and tied that one. It was a push. If you got it early, the Heat -3. It did get bet up to -4, and that's why. So if you had the -4, I feel sorry for you. But they were losing that game and came all the way back in the fourth quarter and got the cash there. So that was a little push there for Heat backers, but it's all good, man. But on to today, I'm welcoming to some people in the chat. We got Anthony Christopher, we got Keith Sadler. What's up, gas station sushi? Stu Chaos, Steve Overlay, Marcelo. What's up, Recape? Vail Gotti, T.O. Martinez, Kyle Ranson, all you guys, man. Y'all hit the like button and y'all tell other people about the show, man. No matter where you're going to go bet. I know y'all go to the Sportsbook or to the parlay spot somewhere. Tell them, hey, look, y'all checking this show, man. To talk about, sometimes to give out college picks, be on NBA, all that, man. Whether you're going to follow me, Jordan, or Junior, you know what I'm saying? It's three different people. Hey, y'all come and get to some cash with us, man. So y'all, you guys ready to get into into the first game. We go ahead and get to the first one, man. We just got 6 games today. I want to start off with this Suns and Hornets spot, man. I already did Jimmy show, so a lot of people already heard my takes on it. It's I don't know way I could look at this one as the Suns, man, but we do got some injuries coming in. We need to see if Bridges or Cam Johnson are going to play for the Suns. A couple of key pieces for them over there, but they do got Baines and Rubio back. We'll see. The Hornets seem like they can only beat the Pistons lately. That's the only team that they have their number. Other than that, they've been taking L's, man. Even at the house, where they're giving up they're giving up 115 points per game and only scoring 110. Well, any thoughts on this game, Junior?
This Phoenix and Charlotte game, it's weird. I want to take Phoenix. I want to say that it's an easy play, but I just don't like the way that they look right now. Charlotte at the house might almost be the play, as crazy as that sounds. So that's why it's a complete stay away game for me. The Suns did have a bit of a better identity with, the defense that they were playing, but they're not playing that defense anymore. They actually really need DeAndre Ayton to come back. They only got, 7 more games left until he comes back. So until then, they're just trying to hold on because, like you said, look at the amount of injuries that they have, bro. Like, it's almost like not even their fault. They're just throwing, like, these crazy, like, makeshift lineups together, right? Like, the starting lineup in their last game, they had Aaron Baines at least, and they had Rubio back. But now with Baines out, they're out a starter. They're out probably, I guess, Bridges is like, their 6th, 7th man. So their rotation now becomes, like, up in the air, and there's no way that they can sustain what they've been doing. Whereas Charlotte is not a bet-on team to me, but I think that in this specific situation, if you just look at the way that the Suns just look, they only have, like, 1 win in the last, like, 2 weeks or something like that. You know what I mean? So it would have to be Charlotte or nothing. And for me, that just basically means it's nothing.
Exactly. What you thinking on this game, Jordan?
Yeah, so I do have a play on this game. Going against the steam a little bit here, but I think it's the right call on this one. I'm going to go with the first half and the over in this one. It's actually ticked down 2 full points. It was already less than half of the full game total when it started, and I like to look at some of these games and these instances where the first half line is less than half of the full game, and then look at some of these teams splits. And if you look at Charlotte, they've really been slowing down their pace recently, so I think the indication that the steam is going in the right direction for the full game. But in the first half, especially at home, they tend to play a lot faster. I think they have a pace of like 104.5 in the first half at their home games so far this season. And of course, they've been giving up a ton of points lately. As Junior just mentioned, Phoenix started off the season really hot on defense, playing pretty well on both ends of the court. They've kind of regressed a little bit, especially on the defensive end. Baines coming back will obviously help that, and then Ayton eventually coming back will help it even more. But I think until then, I think this is a really nice overplay here at 108.5 or 108 even. I think you can still get it at here as well. Phoenix has really sped up their pace lately. I think that will continue tonight, especially on the road. And like I said, if neither of these two teams play any defense, I think we could see a pretty high-scoring first half, especially if Phoenix comes out and smashes Charlotte like I think some people are predicting here. I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen, but if they do it, I think they're going to get a lot of points in the first half, and I think they could be pushing 58, 60 points in the first half of this one. So I think over 108 is a pretty good play here. It's probably my second or third best of my picks that we're giving out today.
Yeah, I could see that too. That's a damn good play by you, Jordan. I could see points in this game. Like I said on Jimmy's show, it's all about if they're hitting shots. Really, especially the Hornets. If they're not hitting shots, they could get blown out quickly. They do play a little bit faster. The Suns, they are 7th in offensive efficiency the past 5 games. They're only 1-4 in those last 5, but still, at least their offense is starting to get a little better. Like I say, Rubio only real 1 game when they had Rubio and Baines back. That was the last game. Baines still gonna be on a little limits restriction, but they played well versus the Mavs. So we just saw going there into LA and beat their ass by 14 points. So like I say, if Bridges or Cam Johnson in this one, or if both of them in, man, I think this is a get right spot for the Suns. They hadn't looked well late, and then you see them laying 4.5 here on the road. I think that's saying that the bookmakers are expecting the Suns to get right in this fight, and they think that they can handle this Hornets team. We know that they're a better team. It's just, are they gonna come to show it today? So like I say, they got Rubio and Baines back. They starting to get full squad, man. They got a little little tough schedule here coming up. They got to win these type of games, man. I know early on they started off hot. They're only 1-6 their past 7 games. This man, look, the Suns got to. It doesn't mean that they are going to win it, but I'm just saying if you watch the Suns team, these are the type of games where they have to flex their muscle a little bit. Devin Booker, we know he's going to be the best player on the floor. He has to show it in these type of games to come out here and have 40, 50 points, man, and put his team on his back. Got a tough schedule ahead, man. You got to win these type of games versus weaker foes like the Hornets, especially when you over there in the Western Conference. So we'll see here tonight. I'm definitely leaning towards the Suns. The Suns are nothing for me. I know the Hornets are a home dog, but I don't see them having anybody that can stop Devin Booker. If he's cooking, I think it's going to be a long night. But they definitely going to need Mikal Bridges or Cam Johnson or both. We get into this next game, man. The Jazz versus the 76ers. Line opened up at 4.5. It's sitting at 5.5 now for the Sixers. It did touch 6 this morning. When I'm looking at the computer, as soon as it touched that 6, it went right back down to 5.5. So the line is going all over the place. We know the Jazz just got their ass handed to them, man, in Toronto. Obviously, they came back with some fight and outscored them by 20 in the second half, but just to make it respectable. They played that good of a second half and still lost by 20. The Sixers are 5-0 ATS in the last 5 games. This is a revenge game as well. They lost in Utah earlier this month, so it's a revenge spot for the 76ers. The thing I don't like about the Jazz that it's look, I'm thinking about gas and shit. The Jazz is their 5th game of the road trip, and they have been playing defense lately. They're 24th in defensive efficiency last 5. That surprised the shit out of me. It's supposed to be a defensive team. Even with Conley coming over there, you would think, that's supposed to be a defensive upgrade at the point guard. I don't know what the hell they got going. You would think they come out here tonight with some fight in them. The 76ers haven't been covering spreads whatsoever. They have in this series, but at the house, they have not been covering these spreads lately. They 0-4 ATS the last 4 games. They've won the last 3, but like I say, they can't cover a spread to save their life. Even that game versus the Pacers, they play good. They still didn't cover that spread. So if we get a pissed off Jazz team here, they should be able to come in here and cover the spread. Maybe if not win the game, you just worry about them running out of gas here in the second half. What's your angle on this game, Junior? I know you say you like the Jazz today.
Yeah, I got the Jazz plus 5.5. I just think that obviously we were watching this game over here. We saw Toronto. I mean, they were up by 40 in the second, and at halftime, which is crazy. But the Jazz actually came out. I mean, the Jazz scored 37 points in the first half and 49 points in the third quarter. So to me, I look at the Jazz team as like one of those teams. You do this. I'm sure you guys both do the same thing. You just look at how teams respond to certain situations. The Jazz could have easily come out in that third quarter and mailed it in. Instead, they scored probably the most points that they'll score in a quarter all season. Like 49 points in a quarter is crazy. The point I'm trying to make is they came out strong. They showed some fight. I think that they're going to go into Philadelphia, and at the very least, they're going to put up a better defensive effort than they did. Because at the end of the day, they allowed almost 80 points and a half. Their coach is obviously not going to, be happy about that. Like Jay said, they're 24th in defense in the last, 5 games, which is absurd for them because that's the only way that they can win games. That's their whole identity. So that being said, I think that Donovan Mitchell going out super early in that game, like he got subbed with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and he never came back in the game. Now he's going into a situation where he's playing against Philly. Josh Richardson has been ruled out of the game. Other than Josh Richardson, if you just look at Philly's roster, who's going to guard Donovan Mitchell? I mean, he's going to shoot a lot of shots anyway. I think there's a good chance he could put up a good 35 plus. I'm looking at a Donovan Mitchell points total also as a spot in this game. But my official play is Utah plus 5.5. For another point that Jay Money just made, Philadelphia is just not covering spreads right now. Their offense is super inconsistent. I think Joel Embiid has been super inconsistent. So has been Ben Simmons. And I just don't like anything about Philly right now. If you're going to give me 5.5 points with a pissed off Jazz team, even though they're in a back-to-back spot, I mean, bro, Philly's like 300 miles from Toronto. It's like a 90-minute flight. So, they flew over there real quick. They're going to play them again. Philly's played a bunch of games in the last couple of days. They're not playing on a back-to-back, but they've played at least like 3 games in the last 4 or 5 days. So I just think that I like the spot with the Jazz being pissed off and coming out with a strong effort in this game.
Yep, I like it. What you thinking on this game, Jordan?
I initially wanted to kind of pass on this game, but more than I talked to Junior about it, and the more I look at it, I think Junior is on the right side of this one, despite the line movement. And I want to just highlight something specifically that he said about Josh Richardson being out tonight. I keep telling people who are really into Philly this year that if they don't add more 3-point shooting, they're not going to advance as far as people think they're going to advance, because there are teams that are just going to lock them down and lock down the paint on them. And without Josh Richardson, who is by far their best 3-point shooter, that's going to make them even worse on offense tonight. I think they're like plus 5.5 points per 100 possessions better with him on the court versus when he's off the court this year. And his defense is obviously very good, like Junior touched on as well. They're a few points better on defense with him on the court as compared to without him. So especially with Donovan Mitchell coming back and motivated tonight, the Jazz do have, I think, some nice value. I don't know how much it is. I'd probably lean more on the small side on him just because this is kind of like Jay said, a revenge game. But just for the fact that Josh Richardson, I think, is much more important to Philly than I think the line is giving them credit for.
Exactly. Yeah, it says Baines now questionable against the Hornets now. So it's crazy though. I like this hour. It seems like every time we go on, that's the time when a lot of the injuries and shit come out on my phone. I like to keep the chat and stuff on my phone. So Baines now questionable. So Suns may not be at full strength tonight. Excuse me. Yeah, in this game, it almost made so when you look at it, the under is, and so obviously these teams already played. It went to 210. You got a total of so that one barely went. That one game was going under the first game. It was a lot of fouls late in the game. It was a 2-point game. So both teams, the 76ers were obviously fouling late to get down in that game because they were finna lose by 4, and then they some late baskets in that one. I look at that one as it should have went under. And if you look at this one, the Jazz are on the back-to-back spot. They have been playing terrible defense. If they're going to come to play tonight, they have to play some defense. The 76ers been locking up on D here lately. They haven't been covering spreads, and they've been playing a lot slower. They're second in defensive rating in the last 5. So we know that they're going to play some defense. Under is 9-3 in the last 12 meetings. What I know you always crunch the numbers real hard as far as the analytics, Jordan. What are you looking towards? Are you leaning towards the under in this spot, even though it's a low total? We know that the Jazz will have to play better defense if they want to stay in this game, right?
Yeah, I mean the issue though with that, and this is the only thing that would probably keep me away from it, because I agree. I think the under correlates with Utah tonight if they amp their defense up. But if this is like a game where both teams are going to try to attack the paint and go down low with Joel Embiid and get fouled and shoot it, the refs are calling fouls and shooting a bunch of free throws, that's going to spoil any underplays here. That's the only thing that's really keeping me off of it, even though it is a low total. I think it could be pretty sharp, but I'm just worried about Joel Embiid shooting like 18 free throws tonight.
Exactly, but and another thing is like we say, neither team really has a lot of 3-point shooters, so they're really with them going down low. Yeah, obviously the foul calls, and especially when they get into the bonus, that doesn't bode well for the under. But them going down low, and you know what I'm saying, it takes a lot of time off the clock trying to put your back to the basket, a lot of post up moves, less 3-point shot, even if it is a foul fest. I'm just thinking in this spot, I think with the Jazz being in their fifth game fifth game of a road trip, they just can't. I don't see them wanting to run up and down the court here. I think they have to make this defensive, grind it out type of game, like the old Jazz days, like Conley when he was in Memphis, the grind city. That's what it's going to have to be tonight. And like I say, the 76ers defense has been better than their offense. That's what they've been doing it with. So we'll see with this. I'm leaning towards the under. I definitely like that Jazz play with my guy Junior. I was already talking with Jimmy with it, and Teddy covers as well on that. Is on that play from the early show. So we were all talking about Jazz. I was leaning towards now. I know Jimmy said he's on that first quarter there. I know my local probably gonna give me a 6 on this one, man. We'll see if I get there with the Jazz. Let's get to this next game. We got the Warriors versus the Hawks, guys. The Hawks land 6.5 here. When I looked at it, I was like, damn, Book's trying to tell us something. Why the hell the Hawks? But both teams, one of them was 4-17, the other one 4-16 in the Hawks. I'm like, damn, what the hell the Hawks doing land here minus 6.5? You have a look. Is this one of the games you have a play on, Jordan?
No, just a lean though. I'm just kind of leaning towards Golden State in this one, but I think that without Draymond tonight, who hasn't been officially ruled out, but looking like he's probably will be, and then being on the back-to-back, I think it's just a little bit too much. I usually don't tease basketball, but I mean, if this is one you want to try with that, I definitely would tease on the size of the Warriors and get them up to double digits. But yeah, it's just like you said, it's hard to trust either of these teams right now. Neither one of them are going to play too much defense tonight, so that's a little bit tough. And this was one where I did look at the total, and I thought the over might be a play, but it looks like it's a pretty sharp line. So this is a game I'm kind of staying away from, I think.
Exactly. And the Hawks have lost 9 straight games to Golden State. At some point, they're going to want to get off the schneid there. And they're not – I mean, I'm going to tell you, I think the Hawks win this game. It's just like, damn, they're -6.5. Then and then now what, Crab is going to sit in this spot. He was one of the players that they had got back. I was thinking that the Hawks going to be full squad here. Is Cam Reddish going to play in this spot? He didn't play in the last game. He's questionable. If they get him back, they could add towards the squad. We know that the Warriors are not in a good spot here. And I'm seeing a great Draymond Green is doubtful. This is the third game in 4 nights on the road for Golden State. They played tough last night versus Orlando. This is a tough spot for them. They are 1-4 straight up the last 5 games, but they are also 4-1 ATS in that spot. They really only got 2 scores over there in Pascal and Burks, pretty much. So we'll see if Trae Young goes out tonight. I could see the Hawks win this game by double digits. I'm very hesitant to lay it with them, but I think this is one of those spots where I think they're favored by 6.5 for a reason. Obviously, they have the rest advantage. We've seen them play teams like the Bucks and the Raptors close here at the house. Lately here, they've been playing well at the house. They don't have a win here in forever. Sometimes if they get a win tonight in this, and I think they get a comfortable win here. I'm real hesitant to bet on the Hawks here, but I really do think that this is one where you read the line, and the line is here at the Hawks -6.5 for a reason. Opened at 5.5, went up to 6.5. Any thoughts on this game, Junior?
Yeah, no, you already know I'm not going to bet on this game. I don't like these teams. I don't know what they're doing. If anything, I would have to play the Hawks, but like -6.5 on the Hawks, it's too many points. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not getting. I'll tell you what though. One thing about the Hawks, the last time I seen them play the other day, they are getting more bodies back. There was a point in time where they just literally had just like a bunch of injuries. Now they got basically their whole rotation back, or all their important players back, except for Herder and obviously the young kid. I forget his name right now. The one that's suspended for
Collins.
Yeah, John Collins. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so obviously until they get Collins, they're not going to be as competitive of a team. But when you're talking like a week or two ago, they were missing like literally like half the rotation. So they do look a little bit more solid, but 6.5 points for me is just too many points to lay up with a team that could just lose to anybody. I did kind of I thought I read that Draymond would be resting in this game. I need to find where resting. I saw that.
It's a back-to-back spot. Draymond resting.
Yeah, so see, if Draymond Green is not playing, bro, I mean, it would have to be Hawks or nothing, but I'm off this for sure.
Exactly. And I just want to point out that sometimes you see a line and you scratch your head, and then you see them going win by 15 points, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why. I mean, this is one of those where the Hawks have a huge rest advantage on the Warriors. Like I say, it's just a bad spot. It's more those spot play, if anything. If you like the Hawks, obviously the numbers aren't going to say neither one of them are. Actually, the numbers are better for the Warriors here in the past 5. They've been covering spreads, staying close, but they had Green last night when they damn near won. It won't be today, man. Let's get into this next spot. Really the only spots that I've already bet today, man. The Pacers versus the Grizzlies. This is one I want to ask Jordan about, man. I know he's a big Pacers fan here. They've been covering the shit out these spreads. They had won 5 straight games before they lost last game versus the 76ers, but shit, they won that game to me, because shit, we had them plus the 4.5 on the spread. They only lost by 3, so they won for us bettors, man. The Pacers, they 4-2 ATS the last 6. They're 6th in rebounds the last 5 games, 8th in offensive efficiency last 5 games, and 11th in defense. So they've been playing some real good ball here. The Grizzlies is one of the spots. It's a terrible spot for them, man. They overachieved like hell last night, man. In Minnesota, went out there and beat them straight up. Where Timberwolves it opened at 9, closed at 11.5, 12. Man, I mean the Timberwolves it seemed like the side. No Ja Morant, no Valanciunas didn't play in that game, and they went out there and balled. Dylan Brooks had 26 points. That's probably not going to happen again tonight. No Ja Morant as well. I'm seeing Valanciunas, seeing shit come up on my phone right now. Valanciunas questionable with an illness. He probably not going to play. Brandon Clark left that game early. I don't think he's going to play with a hip injury. He only played 10 minutes last game. Tough back-to-back spot for the Grizzlies here. They've been playing well at the house. Not without their leader, though, Ja Morant, man. It's a bad spot for him. It's a lot of points to lay with the pace here, but I think it's the right side here, and I think this one could get ugly. What you liking in this game, Jordan?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The Pacers are in a really nice spot right now because they've been waiting in Memphis now for at least a day and a half, and the Grizzlies, like you said, just coming off a really tough travel night, going from all the way from Minneapolis down to back down to Memphis and having to play at home. And we just got word just 5 minutes ago, Brandon Clark's not going to play, Kyle Anderson's not going to play. We still don't know about Valanciunas. If he's out, the Pacers are just absolutely going to unload on these guys. Miles Turner, if you like the narrative plays, he just deactivated all his social media accounts. He got just absolutely demolished by the ignorant fan base here, or at least some of the ignorant fan base here that just absolutely hates him for no reason. 23-year-old, top 5 defensive big man in the league, and just absolutely gets creamed for having one bad game. If Memphis is down all their front court tonight, he's going to go and have a huge game tonight. And I think him and Sabonis are in absolute destruction mode tonight against this Grizzlies front court. If they're down to Ivan or down to Bruno Caboclo starting at center or whoever they're going to be able to play tonight if Valanciunas is out. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards the Pacers. I think now we got official word that some of these other guys are out. I think you could definitely see some more steam towards them to get them up to 10. Not going crazy on, but one that I think is still good today.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, some with these injuries, man, you got to know. I mean, come on, man. The guy went out last game. He only played 10 minutes, left the game, didn't return with a hip injury, man. You know, you don't even have to wait on that shit to be announced. You know Brandon Clark ain't going to play in this spot, man. Valanciunas, if he do play, he's sick. Man, this ain't a good spot for them Grizzlies, bro. They were supposed to lose last night. Yeah, they overachieved one game. They're not going to keep that shit up. We know Ja Morant, look. The Grizzlies gonna go where Ja Morant takes them, man. While him being out, they're gonna be a fade team, bro. I know they've been covering first halves, all that shit. Not today, bro. This ain't a good spot for them. I think I think it's a trifecta spot for the Pacers here, man. First quarter, first half, and the full game. It's just a terrible spot for the Grizzlies. I'm actually glad that they won yesterday. I wasn't on that game, so hey, I'm glad they won. And now you finna get your ass blown out. Anything you thinking on this game, Junior?
Yeah, this is another one of my official plays. I got the Pacers -5.5 first half. When the line came out this morning, it was 10. I just didn't feel comfortable laying 10 with the Pacers on the road. I know everything you just said about the Grizzlies is just my thing with just not want to lay double digits with a road team. That being said, I'm seeing it's like basically 9.5 across the board. I'm seeing a 9 in a couple of spots, so I'm probably going to have to get on that for the simple fact that yesterday in the second half, if you watch that game, Brandon Clark I don't even think he came out he wasn't even on the bench. Like, he did not play in the second half at all. So you knew he's going to be ruled out today. Valanciunas is probably not going to play. No Ja Morant. Yesterday, the Wolves, Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns combined to go 2 of 16 from 3. So that's basically the only reason that game went the way it did. Whereas the Grizzlies went with like 16 for 40 from 3. The Grizzlies don't even average 33-point attempts per game. So they kind of just had one of those weird games where they caught fire and they roll with it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to expect Dylan Brooks to carry the team with another 25-point performance. I just also think that if you just look up and down the roster, I don't want to just repeat things that you guys just said, but my initial thinking when I took this first half was, I'm not taking the full game double digits, so I'm going to ride with the fact that Miles Turner and Sabonis have nobody that can come close to stopping them on this Memphis roster. Like, they would definitely need at worst to have Valanciunas be healthy to be able to slow these guys down. Because if you just look at the way the Pacers play, they're a smart team that, unlike most teams in the NBA, make sure that their bigs touch the ball. Now, obviously, they play 2 bigs at the same time, which is not always an ideal, way to play for most other teams. But these guys make it work. and against a Memphis team that has essentially no big men left with Clark and Valanciunas out, because Jordan mentioned Bruno Caboclo. Like, Bruno Caboclo might be tall, but he's nothing close to a big man. Bruno Caboclo is like a small forward. Like, if you asked him what position he plays. So if he's the guy that you're going to try and use to stop Valanciunas and Sabonis, sorry, I don't know why I keep messing up everyone's name. Sabonis and Miles Turner, they might blow these guys out by 20 on the road, honestly.
Shit, ain't no might. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm looking for. Obviously, it is tough laying double digits, but bro, it's a tough spot. I mean, you don't see teams laying double digits like this anymore. They got the rest advantage. They're a better team. They're playing better basketball lately. They're pissed. I mean, come on, man. It's too much. Like I say, I'm on the Pacers here, and I like them. That's the only thing I got to say, man. Let's get to this Knicks and Bucks spot, man. A spot where you got a team laying a shitload of points. They haven't been covering spreads, but the Knicks, they are down some bodies, man. It's looking like Morris is going to be doubtful in this one. He was really one of the factors. If I had Morris in this spot, I'm not going to say I'm not worried about Frank not playing in this game, but you still got Dennis Smith Jr. coming. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks are always gonna stay scrappy. They got a trend here where it's been win loss on the spread. They lost the last one. It is a little bad spot for them. Little third game in 4 nights. They lost their game versus the Celtics yesterday, so it's a little back-to-back spot for them. Like I say, no Morris. It'll be interesting to see. So you can't step in front of the Bucks right now. Obviously, they've won 11 straight games, but when it comes to covering the spread, they're only 2-5 ATS the last 7 and 4-6 ATS the last 10. You're not gonna have Brook Lopez in this spot, so I mean Sterling Brown is out as well. He's not a key part of what they do, but Lopez is one of their starting centers. So it's gonna be interesting to see if the Bucks are gonna overlook them. We know they can blow out anybody anytime, but we've also seen them be pretty lethargic in some of these games, laying double digits. They'll come out and win 6, 7 points, 8 points. You laying 16.5 here. I know they're at the house, but it doesn't take much for the Knicks to stay in this game. It's tough that they're not going to have Morris in this spot. He's one of their key guys, obviously one of their toughest guys. But it's too many points to lay here, man. If I had a free bet on this shit, I still would be taking the Knicks plus all these points. I mean, they still are pretty much scrappy in every single game. They'll even get up by 10 points, and then obviously they can't close out a game. But the Bucks, what do they always do? They'll get up by 20, and then they just stop giving a shit and let the team. I mean, they could be up by 20 entering the fourth quarter in this one, man. And I would be feeling comfortable with my Knicks plus 16.5. If I had that ticket in my pocket, just because I know the Bucks are gonna put the misfits in, and then they'll win this game by 9 or 10 points. We've seen it happen time and time again, haven't we, Junior?
Yeah, we talk about this every single time we talk about the Bucks. So you already know that I agree with you 100%. I'm not even on this game, and one of the tickets I've been cashing the most throughout the whole season is Bucks first half, because I just see them time and time again blow teams out in the first half. Which, again, if I'm not going to lay double digits in a game, I'm not laying double digits in a half. The Bucks first half spread is -10. No, thank you, bro. Keep that away from me at all times.
Exactly.
There's no way I'm getting involved in a spread that looks like that, bro.
Leaning towards the Knicks in the first half plus the double digits.
And Jay, just to piggyback off something you just said, if people actually are watching Knicks games, bro, not only the Knicks kind of sort of covering spreads, they're coming close to it even when they don't. They're just not getting blown out, bro. Like, they're a bad team that hangs around in the games that they're playing in. Like, they've lost, I think, 6 games in a row, but a couple of those games have been like 2-3 possession games. Like, they're just hanging around, and I just don't trust them. Like, if there's anything that you could say about Coach Fizdale, he's not getting a lot of wins, but he's getting effort. These guys play hard every game, so I can't. 16.5 is just crazy, man. There's no way that I'm gonna. There's just no, because you already said it, Jay. How many times are we going to watch the Bucks be up by 20 points and take Giannis out and then have to put him back in because the other team starts coming back? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that I'm taking these guys -16.5 right now. No way.
Yeah, top. Like I say, man, if Morris is in there, I'll be taking it. I'll be taking this shit. I don't like that Morris not in there, but I still lean toward. I want to go up to 17 and a half, man. That's a shitload of points. I don't think that the Hornets are the type of team that the Bucks blow the shit out like that by 40 points. I don't think that the Knicks are that type of team, man. They got scrappy players and they never gonna stop coming at your fucking neck, man. The Bucks, however, they tend to let up on teams like this. The Hornets don't have any fight in them. I think that the Knicks do, even with them down by 20. We'll see, but it's Knicks or nothing for me in that one. You got anything to say about this one, Jordan?
No, not really. I'll keep it quick though, because I got to play in this late game. But yeah, the betting on the Knicks on the second night of a back-to-back without who has been their best player, Marcus Morris, I think is pretty foolish tonight. But also, like you guys said, there's no way I'm touching the Bucks with this many points. It's just crazy. Like it's a 6-game slate, I know, but there are 5 much better games to bet on than this one, in my opinion. I don't think there's any disagreement, or should be much disagreement among anybody with that. I think there's easily better value in all 5 of these other games, so it's definitely not a game I'm touching tonight.
Exactly, and I think a real sharp look is to look at the Knicks in the fourth quarter. You can take them on the fourth quarter spread before the game. I don't have it up right now, but you can take orders before. I'm sure they probably getting plus price. I think regardless, whatever is happening in this game, I think the Knicks will cover the fourth quarter or either outscore the Bucks in the fourth quarter. Even if the Bucks are up by 30 points, they're notorious for this shit lately. They do not keep their foot on the gas the whole game. Obviously, Giannis is the best player. When they take him out, the team gets super lethargic. The offense is very stagnant. The Knicks, the fourth quarter is a very sharp look in their play. And I had to look at this spread before we get off, man. We finna break down this Kings and Bulls spot real quick. I'm gonna let you. You got to play on it, Jordan. So I'm gonna let you start with it. I'm gonna get this Knicks line real quick.
Yeah, so it took about 6 weeks of the show now we've been rolling with now for me to officially jump on this with Junior, but offense has looked absolutely atrocious lately. He's completely lost this team. He's a defensive coach, so their defense remains to be pretty well, and that kind of ties into my play here. But, man, they have looked awful, and there's absolutely no reason that a team with this much offensive talent should look this bad on offense. That being said, they're still going to look that bad on offense tonight on the road because they haven't done anything offensively on the road all year, and that's especially true in first halves here where they tend to be a little bit slower. And we know the Sacramento Kings play at one of the slower paces in the NBA, and that also plays into their first half, which actually their defense has been pretty good in that area. It's the second half they've been starting to lose teams defensively here. This is already a pretty low total, and I think the first half is actually a better underplay than the full game, just simply because, like we talked about earlier, these totals where it's more than half or less than half of the full game line. In this case, it's 108 on the first half, 112 on the full game. So I think under's the play here. I could easily see one or both of these teams falling below 50 points here in the first half because I think the Bulls defense is still good enough with the Kings still banged up a little bit, missing their 2 best players to lock them down, keep their offense from going crazy. And on the flip side, the Bulls, I just can't see them doing anything offensively tonight against this Kings team. I know they haven't been that great defensively, but at home, and like I said, especially in the first half, they do tend to play a little bit tougher here. I think Rashawn Holmes is going to have a good game in this one. If you're looking for prop bets tonight, it just really could be one of the uglier games of the night, outside of maybe the Knicks side of that Bucks-Knicks game. But if you want to see 2 teams struggle tonight to score, I think this is definitely the game to watch.
Your thoughts on that, Junior?
Yeah, I got 2 plays on this game, actually. I'm pretty sure these are my 2 first plays on the Kings of the season. Makes me a lot more confident than Jordan's so confident that the Bulls are as shit as I've said that they are the whole season. I think that the fact that Boylan's still the coach is kind of ridiculous. All that being said, I'm on the Kings as much as I'm fading the Bulls. I might even be like, this plays just me fading the Bulls. I got Kings first half -2.5, Kings -5 full game. I just don't like the way that Chicago plays on offense on the road. The Kings' slow pace is actually not a bad thing. It's something that's worked to their advantage, and they've kind of been forced to do because of the injuries to De'Aaron Fox. All of that being said, if I just look at the way that the Kings haven't, first of all, before I get into any of that, the Kings haven't lost a home game since October. So back then, they were getting blown out by like 20 points on a regular basis. Whatever it is, they've obviously come together. They obviously I'm not trying to say Luke Walton's a good coach now all of a sudden, and I know Jay's definitely not a fan of Luke Walton, but he's doing something right. He's gotten their attention, he's gotten their respect, and he's getting them to play a lot better, and they're just a good home team right now. They're still not covering spreads consistently, but like I said, I have zero belief in the Chicago team until they change the system or change the coach. Again, it can't be all the coach's fault. It's not the coach's fault that Lauri Markkanen can't make a shot or grab a fucking rebound. But it's just not working in Chicago right now, and I'm ready to fade them on a regular basis until further notice for sure.
And so, just if you guys were wondering, that fourth quarter for the Knicks is plus 2.5, and the money line is plus 170. I know they are on the back-to-back spot. If they getting blown out here, I still like for them to be scrappy in this fourth quarter. In that third quarter, Ronnie was asking about it. He said he's liking the Knicks in the third quarter even more. They're plus 5 on that third quarter and money line of plus 282. So if you guys are interested in that, and I see somebody else saying he liking GT Randy say he like Knicks plus the 9.5 or plus 10 in the first half. So we'll see in this spot. On this last game, I think it's a tricky spot, man. The Kings, they're 9-1 ATS the last 9 games, but only two of those games they were laying points. One of those games against the Hawks, the other ones versus the Suns, which the Suns, Denver came all the way back and covered their spread. Like I say, most of them they've been getting points. In this case, they're laying points. It's up to 5.5. I just feel like I feel like the Kings seem too easy in this spot, man. I was on the Bulls versus that last game versus the Blazers, and it was a win to me. They lost straight up, but they covered their spread and kept it close, just like I had a feeling that they would. This is the third game on their road trip. I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys, man. Not disagreeing too much because I'm not betting on the Bulls here, but if I had a free play on this game, I can only bet the Bulls. I think it's gonna be a letdown spot for the Kings. They had to come back from a 20-point deficit in that spot and win in overtime versus the Nuggets. I just think that this is a prime letdown spot for them. And even if they win the game, they have to win it by margin. We even saw that the last time they were laying points at the house versus the Suns, they were up by 20 points that game. No Rubio, no Baines, and the Suns came all the way back and damn near won that game, let alone cover the spread. If whoever had the -3 got real lucky with a late foul call there, they were only finna win that game by 2. So the Kings, like I say, they've been real good in the underdog role. Now they're laying points here. They still only have two offensive guys to me. I'll keep saying that. It's Hield and Bogdanovich. One player start, one player off the bench. Other than that, if Hield has a bad night, man, the Kings they will look like a totally different team. We'll see what happens here tonight, but wouldn't a bit surprise me. I'm not a fan of neither coaches. I'm not a fan of this Bulls team either, but when I'm getting points with them against somewhat of a similar team, I feel like even though the Kings have been cashing shot these tickets, they obviously still missing some stars out there. We know with the Bulls, if they can knock down some shots, if Zach LaVine gets going or if they light a fire up under him, he can easily be the best player on the floor tonight. And if we see that Zach LaVine, that ball in Zach LaVine, I think that the Bulls could possibly win this game straight up. Like I say, the 3-game road trip where you've lost the previous 2 games, you're looking to get a win before you go back to the house. I at least like them to be scrappy. This is a spot where I think I would be going full contrarian, fading everybody, and I'll be looking towards the Bulls here, plus the 5.5. You probably could even get 6 with game time. Like I say, the Kings have been a ATS darling. I think that it could possibly come to an end tonight, man. I just think it's a little bit of a letdown spot. So that's what I got to say on this game. We've ran out of time now. You want to let them know what your official plays are, Jordan?
Yeah, real quick. I got Phoenix and Charlotte first half over, Chicago, Sacramento first half under, and I'm probably going to end up jumping on the Pacers here once we get up this call with both of y'all. First half and full game, probably.
I like it. What you liking, Junior?
Yeah, I got Utah plus 5.5. Indiana first half minus 5.5. Probably going to jump on the Indiana -9, but that's not an official play. So for now, just Indiana minus 5.5 first half, and Sacramento minus 2.5 first half. Sacramento -5 full game. I don't believe in the baby Bulls, bro.
Hey, like I say, the Kings got to win by margin, man. They got it so that it's not only just ask them to win; they got to win by margin. And this I can definitely see this being the most public bet game of the day. So I'm just saying, guys, the way that I'm looking at this game, I think that the Bulls can keep it close, if not win this game outright. I'm not a fan of them either, but I'm not. I think the Kings. I mean, we're getting a little too out of hand now. They're still an 8-10 team. They've been covering shot these spreads, but it could be a prime letdown spot. That you see that in the NBA these days. We'll see if the Bulls come to play here. It's really about whichever team makes shots. I'm gonna my book is hanging the 6 for the Jazz, so I did just hop on there while we on the show. I'm looking at that Knicks line plus the 6. I'm leaning towards the Suns, not without Baines though. I'm leaning towards the Hawks as well, man. Might throw them in a money line parlay, and I'm on the Pacers here minus the 9, man. I might ride with my guy Junior on that first half, but right now I'm just on the Pacers minus 9, that Jazz plus the 6, and like I say, I'm leaning towards the Bulls plus the 5.5, man. That's it for the show today, man. We'll be back tomorrow trying to get some cash. Just a little short slate today, man, but we're still trying to get some money. We're still trying to milk the bookies, man. Leche, hey, los bookmakers.